guys, welcome back to our channel. Today I have with me Nishit from Indore.
Hi.
Hi Nishit.
Hi.
Yeah, I have Nitesh from Amritsar. Hey Nitesh.
Hello.
Yeah, and we have Abhijit from Delhi NCR. Hey Abhijit.
Hi. Hi.
So guys, how excited are you for the Spanish Prix? As we have seen this three Grand Prix are over, and we had a lot to discuss about them. It's like there were so many close encounters, especially in the first Bahrain Prix, and other two also had similar encounters, but the tables won't show that. Like if we see in the Emilia Prix, it's like Verstappen is 22 seconds ahead, and similarly in Portuguese Prix, we have Hamilton 29 seconds ahead, but it won't show the real thing which happened on the track there. So, guys, let me start with Abhijit. How are you feeling for the Spanish Prix, Abhijit?
This season itself is quite interesting in a lot of regards because we saw what happened with Racing Point last year. They were absolutely dominant on the track, and now with Formula One banning their brake ducts and the special parts that they had borrowed from Mercedes, we are seeing them falling back. Uh, Quite a few legends have come back into racing. So Alonso has come back to Formula One. So it's exciting to see him on the track as well. Although we haven't seen a stellar performance from him yet, we have Vettel taking over in the Aston Martin team, but we are yet to see a good performance from him yet too. We had a lot of expectation from Sergio Perez, but still, as evident with all the seat changes that have happened, we are not seeing good performance from him. And this season seems a bit more promising in the terms that Red Bull seems way more closer to Mercedes in terms of their car and the specification and the kind of performance they're able to deliver. And this time, their second driver too is a seasoned driver instead of Alex Albon. We have Sergio Perez, who we expect might be able to give a good performance, as evident from the Bahrain Grand Prix too. Even though his qualifying performance wasn't strong, he was able to go from back of the grid to fifth, which shows his prowess in the GPs in the races itself. So it's quite exciting what kind of performance we'll be seeing in Spanish Grand Prix.
Yeah, so talking about, you mentioned about Sebastian Vettel. He has been always a favorite in the
I'm also
past,
a fan.
but now he
Yeah.
has totally vanished. Like uh, in the Portuguese Prix, we found like in the qualifying, he was performing quite well. I thought he might finish in like pole position, but uh, somehow he ended at 10th. So yeah, nothing is going right for him, right? What's your view on this, Nitesh? Sebastian Vettel.
So
Is-
I
Are,
would say
are we are we are we gonna see the Vettel of 2012 at
that
some point?
I'm sure no. I'm pretty sure no. It all started with the
You
Germany
are saying
2018.
no because of the age,
Yeah, his age, he is old, he has lost his
but
touch as well. We might
but
see some splashes here and there where like वो एकदम से जो जुनून आ जाता है, we might see some splashes here and there, but I'm definitely sure that his age is over, he's all left behind. He was kind of roping into the retirement. If someone has not offered him a seat, he was definitely going to retire. And it all started in Germany 2018, where the crash did happen, and he when he was leading the championship and then fall back with multiple losses, multiple DNFs to Lewis Hamilton. So I'm sure that okay, just for the brand purposes, Aston Martin has went for him to brand value, increasing the brand value, getting the sponsors. But even I feel like they won't want to promote Lance Stroll ahead of Vettel at this point of time as their main driver.
yeah, actually he is finishing ahead of Vettel in the starting of the season. We can
Yes,
see that.
yes.
Yeah. So
Even if Vettel did finish with some points in this season, which I'm sure like he will get some points, so he will become like a start. just a stat that he will become equal the record of Michael Schumacher and Ruben Barrichello about scoring some points in 15 of the each season he has participated in. So that's a nice stat to look at as well.
Okay,
Adding,
okay.
adding on to that,
Yeah,
so as you pointed out, Nitish, maybe they are going for a brand value, but it seems Lawrence Stroll at this moment is trying to develop the team more. So he's trying to get veterans in just because they have this experience to develop a team. Even if we see with McLaren too, that's why they had roped in Fernando Alonso earlier, because they knew that working with someone like Fernando Alonso who has good technical understanding of the car itself, he'll be able to get the team up to speed with GP with race winning specs and race winning methodologies. And same too with Vettel in the 2012 era. While Himanshu asked if he will be able to win this time, maybe not, because at that time, at 2012 era time, he was really well versed with his team. He started with Red Bull and he was very comfortable with the Red Bull team.
yeah.
It's just first season with Aston Martin team, and maybe he will take some time to get up to speed with that. But Lawrence Stroll, I think, is trying to build the team with Vettel's expertise, with Vettel's
I
wisdom.
also feel like since the technical regulations are changing the in the start of next year, so
Yeah.
it even might be possible that Aston Martin still keep him just to experiment on the car, to use his experience to develop the car further for the 2023 season. So that
Oh,
might also be an opportunity, and they might keep Vettel for another year or so.
that's a great point you mentioned, Nitesh. Yeah. So hope he finishes. Actually he start gaining point. That's the first thing he has to do. He still has to get on the table. Yeah. So moving on, we have starting with the Bahrain Prix. It's like we had a neck-to-neck finish in that between Verstappen and Hamilton. Yeah, it was totally expected after the last season which Verstappen had, and after that it's like they had a neck-to-neck, like they had a bite at the cherry, and they were moving quite well on the track. But something happened with one or the other. Like they made some mistakes, but somehow Hamilton, like talking about Louis Hamilton in the Amelia Prix, it's like Verstappen got ahead of him, and like Hamilton couldn't catch him. It was like Hamilton was not able to catch him. Then he tried to go from the far side and he went crashing. But somehow he came back from the granular area, and people point out that due to the red flag, like he got advantage, and that's why he was able to finish second. But I think it's whatever like people think, but it's like from 9 to second, like you need a proper driver. It's not that easy like how they are mentioning it. So what's your take on that, Nishit?
Yes, see, if we count all the 20 drivers on the track right now, in terms of experience, Lewis Hamilton is there amongst the top three. I think only Raikkonen and Alonso and probably Vettel have more experience than him. And
Yeah,
apart from experience, he also has a lot of confidence right now. I mean, he's been winning championships for the past 5, 6 seasons. So
yeah,
if he is given a proper car and a proper racetrack, no matter where he starts, the engine, the speed, the power of that car will anyways guarantee him a top three position. Unless he crashes or, unless there's some wrong pit stop strategy. Apart from that, he is bound to finish in the top three. So
oh,
yeah, and that is why I think that even if we talk about the Spanish Prix, I think he would win because of his experience and because of the car which he has.
I would
and talking
also
about
like to add
yeah,
one point. In the first
yeah,
race in the Bahrain Grand Prix, we saw that Verstappen did overtake him actually in the last few laps,
yeah,
but was had to give the position back to the track limits he had to
yeah,
due
yeah,
to
yeah,
track
yeah,
limits he exceeded. So
Yeah,
yeah,
after even giving position back, he still defended it. Even his tires were completely gone, which shows the kind of driver the Lewis Hamilton is. And we have again seen in the Portugal Grand Prix that okay, he is a good driver. coming, and
Yeah.
even in the second Grand Prix, in the Imola Grand Prix, that he can come back from back of the position to uh, come on this podium again. So that is one thing
Yeah.
I would like to add.
Actually,
That's an
in
interesting
Portugal,
point you mentioned, the track limits thing. So yesterday, Helmut Marko, not yesterday, I think right after the Portugal Grand Prix, Helmut Marko, who is the advisor to Red Bull, he made a statement that this year Max has already lost a pole position, a race, and the best lap
Yeah,
time because of track limits.
track
And
limits.
yeah,
track limits have been really notorious in this season because if you see
Daily
even
practice.
Lando Norris, who got a pole, not a pole, the second place,
Front row.
second place in Romagna Grand Prix. He also lost his position just because of track limits. So this year's track limits
yeah,
have been hard, and it's. The fans are obviously saying, like, if you see the Formula 1 highlights videos, fans are obviously having some contention on as to why Lewis is allowed to go beyond the track limits and other drivers are not. But I guess that's reasonable from FIA perspective, because they believe that you have to give back the track position only if you overtake while going outside the track, right? So this time's track limit regulations have been really annoying for some
yeah.
drivers.
So, like picking up your annoying part, I remember in Amelia Pre, there's who annoyed Bottas. Like he get into tangle with George Russell. So, what's your take on that?
So, like I would say that Bottas is struggling a lot at this point of moment, and he still feel like he's not comfortable in the Mercedes that he has driven for past many years. But like he came back strong in the third in the Portuguese Grand Prix where he took the pole position, but again was overtaken by both Verstappen and the Lewis Hamilton on in the race. So he's still lacking on the race pace track, but he has always been good in the qualifying. And
Yeah,
also Mercedes don't say that they do the team orders, but I feel like they do. They convince that okay, yeah, Lewis Hamilton needs to be up front
Yeah, they
and Bottas will
prioritize
just second
Hamilton
behind.
more than Bottas. And
Yes,
I
but
think
but
yeah,
it's
even if
evident,
you look
right?
at
Like,
his career, Bottas has been a bit unlucky when it comes to team
yeah.
strategy and when it
yes.
comes to his car. So
but
yeah, that's
yeah,
but
also
I think that point, Lewis just absolutely blew that point away in Portugal Grand Prix, because Bottas had a clear lead. Still, Hamilton was able to
Overtake.
overtake Max, then come and attack Bottas and get ahead of him. So that actually displays how sorted Lewis Hamilton is with his car and how confident he is with his car.
yeah. Actually, talking about Portuguese Grand Prix, I would like to talk about that part when in the beginning it was quite neck to neck. It was like Verstappen overtook Hamilton in the seventh lap. Then after like he couldn't maintain that lead, and after a few laps itself, Hamilton took his position back, and after that nobody could catch Hamilton. So. Like talking about the stats of the Spanish Prix, it's like Louis Hamilton is the like winner there since last 4 times, I guess. So dominating the Portuguese Prix, like it was 29 seconds ahead of Verstappen. So what do you guys feel about the Spanish Prix? Like I want to know your top three picks.
yeah, as you
Starting
said,
with
Himanshu, that yeah, he's already, as even Nitish and Abhijit pointed out, that Hamilton is well set with his car. He has total control over his car. So taking that into factor, and also the fact that if you look at the circuit of Portugal and the Spanish circuit, the Catalonia circuit, both of them are somewhat similar. We keep them side by side, you'll see that yeah, the circuit is, they have those straight line on one part, then they have a same curve pattern on both the ends.
Yes, Sector
So
2 and Sector 3 are more of. Sector 2
yeah,
has a bunch of chicanes and slow turns. Sector
but
1
if you
is,
look at the overall circuit,
yeah.
I think in the whole calendar, these are the two circuits which closely matched to each other.
Match.
So
Exactly.
keeping that in
Yeah.
mind, and according, and also the fact that the control he has over his car, and the race was just 5-6 days ago. So I think Hamilton will again dominate this race, and he's also been winning it for the past 4 seasons. So
Yeah.
my take would be Hamilton winning it, and again the second best driver is Verstappen, so he'll be second, and third maybe Bottas or Norris. That's my take. Uh, what about you
Okay.
guys?
So, like in my case, I would favor Verstappen over the Hamilton because I would like to
Yeah.
see Verstappen fighting for the championship at last. So going close neck to neck, even if like if Verstappen wins, the difference between the points and Hamilton comes second, the difference between the points would be around, if I guess, one or two. Yeah, one or two, there
Yeah.
would be the difference in the between the
Yeah.
points. Whereas
Yeah.
in the case of like for the first and second, I am going for the Verstappen first, and the second would be Hamilton. But I feel like Bottas might DNF in this race, so that is going to be what I would be mentioning. He has been unlucky, and I will like kind of. I just know I have a gut feeling that okay, DNF for Bottas, and Lando Norris will come out on top in the rest of the for the rest of the race. So that is what my take it is this point of moment.
Yeah.
Even I don't, I want to see a different driver winning the championship. I'm sure all of us F1 fans
Everybody
are
wants that
tired
for
with
the past 3 seasons.
seeing, yeah, Hamilton winning.
But
Even I
like
would want Verstappen to win, but then looking at the conditions, it's
I
difficult for
feel like
everyone.
that Lewis Hamilton should win. I want the Schumacher record to be broken at least. Like, but even after the season, the
Yeah.
Hamilton era should finish. Like, okay, okay, Tata, bye bye. He's okay, go on now. But he want like I want the Schumacher record to be broken at least. And
Yeah.
also,
Schumacher.
if just in case if Lewis Hamilton wins this race, it would be I think 100th pole. If 100th pole, if
Yeah.
he gets on the pole, and I don't know if what race
98.
win it would be
98.
98.
98.
98.
Yeah, so quite a three-digit number in the case of goals.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually. Yeah. What about you, Abhijit? What's your
For
pick?
me too, the first two predictions remain the same for me. Lewis Hamilton, because he has an impeccable record on this track. I think he would finish on the top, followed by Max Verstappen. And for the third place, I am actually expecting Sergio Perez to finally show his prowess with his car, because Bottas definitely has a chance, but I think more than Lando Norris, Sergio stands more chance, because purely because Sergio has raced on this track more number of times. Um, if there was a shot that was shown from one of the highlights, I randomly stumbled upon it on YouTube. It showed Alonso driving on the Portuguese track, and you could see he was driving it with so much perfection. Matlab, he was purely following the racing line, and it was an absolute beauty to watch him drive. So similarly, I feel experience does bring that knack into the driver to perform a bit better, to find that sweet spots in terms of overtaking, to find that spots when you need the absolute grip. So I think Sergio Perez would also have some chance of getting onto the podium this time. And apart from that, I think Charles Leclerc would also be trying to get onto the podium this time,
Yeah.
because he has been getting into the speed with both Sainz and Carlos have been driving well this season, but I think now they would start trying to get Ferrari onto the top. Ferrari have been really desperate this season, as
Yeah.
evident from the first qualifying session itself. They were on their soft tires in the Q2 session itself, because they just wanted to desperately get into Q3 anyhow. So
Yeah.
Ferrari has been desperate this time. So I think that desperation will uh, come into the drivers too now.
Okay. Yeah. So let's. You guys didn't mention about Ferrari getting into the top three. Like you mentioned it now, maybe, but no, none of us are sure. Like Ferrari are get like finishing fourth and fifth regularly, like on a regular basis. One driver is definitely there on the fourth and fifth, but they are not able to maintain the podium. Like they are not able to finish at the podium places. So hopefully, like I like Ferrari. Who doesn't like Ferrari actually? If we on the car basis, it has a history. It had a history. So let's see if they can finish this time in the podium places. And one more point I want, which Nitesh said about Schumacher record. So Schumacher himself said like records are meant to be broken. So hopefully, Sir Lewis Hamilton this time will clinch the eighth championship, and after that we might be seeing some other driver winning, because uh, yeah, it's been long since we are seeing Hamilton winning one after the other
Yeah.
races.
I want that to
Maybe
happen. I want that to happen.
yeah, yeah. So you guys told about your prediction, and you guys mentioned you guys Nitesh mentioned Norris, and he's been doing well this season. So what's his chances of finishing ahead of Verstappen and Hamilton? I would like to go with Nitesh.
So ahead of Verstappen and Hamilton, I will say very, 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 very bleak chances. But yeah, giving the competition or staying ahead of the best of the rest, he might have a good chance over there. So I'm a Daniel Ricciardo fan, by the way, and I want Ricciardo to beat Norris in the team battle. That is what I'm aiming for. But yeah, still he has recently switched teams, so he's still getting up to speed in the new McLaren with the Mercedes engine. But yeah, I want as the season progress, I want Ricardo to beat and become the best of the rest, aiming constantly aiming for fourth or fifth position. But at this point of time, Norris is way ahead of like only giving stiff competition to Perez at this point of time. So that is what I would like to add.
And I hope that Ricardo listens to this Nitish's whatever he said and challenges Nitish to get a tattoo.
I was thinking of getting a tattoo at like his lucky number is 3. So even my lucky number is also 3. I was like his honey badger and that sort of thing. I was thinking of getting a tattoo done 3 over my left arm, left arm in that case.
But
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Lando Norris this year again, because I earlier talked about the team dynamics Vettel had with Red Bull, right? So I think it's a team dynamics that's really made Lando Norris confident this time. I saw a meme yesterday that showed what is McLaren team, and in that there was a section which showed that Zach Brown, an American who wants to adopt this child, Lando Norris. So that is the kind of affection he is receiving in McLaren, and that has really empowered him.
And
I
it
think
has
it's
been
a
shown in the latest season of Drive to Survive that
drive to serve as well.
he
Yeah,
has a soft spot for Lando Norris.
Lando
Father
Norris.
son duo kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think
So
Lando
he's
Norris
been,
is really going out to his limits, because he knows if he makes a mistake, they will be able to tolerate that. So he's absolutely at the top of his confidence and the top of his form and comfort with the team and the car. So I think that is empowering Lando Norris enough to get him on the third spot in driver standings right now. So let's see
yeah,
if he's able to maintain that spot or not.
yeah, he's been doing well. So hopefully he can finish at a good place in the coming week.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. The season started at a very high, and can't wait. We are all excited for the Spanish Prix, and hopefully we can get to see our favorite drivers pick the top spot. And it was nice to have you guys along, and hopefully we will meet soon. And yeah, take care, guys. Stay at home. For all the viewers out there, I would like to raise a concern. Don't go out unnecessarily. If you have a necessity, then only you should go out, and that too take precautions, because as we know, India is moving under a lot of stress, or like you can see people suffering. So it's on us. It's up to you to be careful and take care of yourself and your family and your society. So yeah, stay at home, stay safe. Okay, so guys, thanks for watching our video. Do like, share, and subscribe our channel right there.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Stay safe, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.